fans to the premiere of Three Wheels Manor. Our first guest that we have is Craig Melvin. He's our driver, right?
Yeah.
And Stuart, Christian here. Go ahead.
So I don't think we ever expected that we'd be doing what we're doing, did we? It was we've always been massive fans of the TT, and growing up on the island, it's a massive thing. I dabbled in a bit of racing in my early 20s. It was pretty rubbish. My dad used to race sidecars. I used Isle of Man Centre champion in 2007. He was like super proud of that. It was a massive achievement for him. He died the year before he would have reached the TT, and not long after that, I got the opportunity to buy his old sidecar, and it was a proper shed. It was minging. We probably spent about 9 months working on it, cleaning it all up, and getting it going. And the plan was just to sell it and make a bit of money on it. But then after putting all that time into it, I thought, well, sod it, I might as well have a go of it. So I give Stewie a shout. He lived a couple of doors down from me at the time. We knew nothing, didn't have a clue. We were both working offices, we're both like manicured fingers and everything. We rocked up at the first meeting. There's me, big fat boy. Stewie had a set of levers on that were like built for Andre the Giant. They were huge. He wanted a bit of room to move around in them, but he could have fitted about 4 people in them.
I forgot about those. Jesus.
I think we got a clip of our first ever time out. So I think what you learn there is, right from the word go, it's always the passenger's fault. That's what happened there. Yeah, them big baggy levers, too much drag. Didn't have the power to get off the line. But the good thing I like about that is it gives anyone hope. We were so bad. And now look at us, we're doing
Yeah, well, how many years ago was that now?
That was 2011,
wasn't it? Yeah.
When was the first year that you qualified for the TT then?
2015, wasn't it? It was strange because like we've gone from like massive TT fans, and like just watching your heroes all the time and stuff, and never thinking that you'll ever do it, to then suddenly you're stood top of Bray Hill, you're looking around, you're like, the first year it was like imposter syndrome. I was just looking around thinking, do you remember that guy that kept jumping into like photos? He jumped in with like stood next to Paul Scholes in like Champions League final, had a Man United kit on, and it was like, what's that guy doing there? He's not in the team. That's what I felt like. I'm stood around, you've got the virtuals, you've got Molly, and you're just like, what the hell is this? It was weird. It was just really surreal how suddenly we were there. I remember the first night of practice, and for some reason I thought it would be like, just steady away boys, just off down to the shop. And we stood there, and the car was getting closer. And I turned to Phil, that helped me, and I was like, Phil, I think I'm welling up here. Like just the nerves and the tension of that pit lane atmosphere and stuff. And I think it was that it made me realise this is real. This ain't tiddlywinks, is it? And then I'd say that the other thing that I got from that experience was to never drink with Carl. I remember, I think it was our second TT, and we were getting pushed down towards the line, and I seen a bit of commotion behind me, and I was like, what's going wrong? Because I'm in the LCR, I can't bloody move. So I just catch him in the corner of his eye, and he's like holding something in his hand. I was like, what's that? And he comes forward and he went, and I was like, I don't know what he just said, but he was holding something in his hand. And I'm thinking, what is that? What has just come off my bike? But it wasn't, it was just his visor catch. But yes, thanks for letting me get in the zone on that one. That was good. I think the good thing for me and Stu is we've known each other for so long, that it's like I trust Stewie, he trusts me, we know each other. I take my hat off to a lot of people that have different passengers jumping on for different meetings and stuff, but for me, I think you've got to be consistent. If you're getting your bike consistent, then you've got to get your team consistent as well. I'm blind as a bat, I can't see a bloody thing, and the first few years, I can't drive my car without my glasses, I can't work without my glasses, I can't do anything without my glasses, but I hate wearing glasses, hence why I'm not wearing glasses now. But the first few TTs, I was like, I'm not wearing my glasses. Because if you get photos, you can see that you're wearing glasses and you just look a bit of a weapon, don't you? And then Stewie realised how blind I was because I was just cracking everything. And I'm sure you were like, I'm not doing another TT with you unless you wear glasses.
It was basically that. I made him go to the opticians and get a pair of glasses. But you were looking at one stage, I think, weren't you, at laser surgery as well? I was basically like, I'm not getting back on that bike with you until you get your eyesight sorted out. And lo and behold, when he went to the next TT with a set of glasses on, we went so much quicker because he could actually see where he was going.
There's some ace photos that people have taken and they're like, oh, look at the concentration. It's not concentration, I can't see a thing. I'm just trying to work out where the road's going.
Most people, when they sort of ask you about passengering, they can't believe that you'll do it because the natural instinct is to think that you, as a passenger, you've got no control over the bike, but actually that's not right. You need a driver and a passenger to steer the bike. So, without me, he's only going in a straight line, and without him, I'm going nowhere, sort of thing. So it does depend on the two of you working in harmony as a team. And I guess I quite like that side of it, and actually the best part of it obviously is going quick between two stone walls.
Oh yeah,
that bit's to come. We haven't gone quick yet. Yeah. Laurel Bank, we hit the bank at Laurel Bank, didn't we?
We did, yeah. That was, to be honest, that was probably one of the scariest moments for me that we've had. Not at the time, but when we pulled in afterwards, because it was an evening practice, wasn't it? And it was the first lap. And we clipped the bank coming into the left-hander before Laurel Bank, and to be honest, I mean it was a bit of a thud, but I kind of thought Craig didn't pull in, and I thought I'll give it a mile or two, see how the bike's handling, and if it doesn't feel right, I'm going to tap him and we'll pull in. But actually the bike felt fine, so we carried on for another lap and we finished the lap and did another lap after that. Came in, took the fairing off, and it was not pretty underneath, was it? And it was pretty frightening, to be honest, to think that we'd just been down Bray Hill with the chair wheel. It wasn't in a good state, was it?
Nah.
So that was definitely one of those moments where you think, I won't do that again.
I think that was like maybe second year as well.
Second
year,
yeah.
Which is why I think it took me a couple of years to get that flow right, because you're always thinking, right,
remember when I clipped that?
Don't mess up. It's all be straight. You always think, right, I'll get a couple of people on the approach to Ballaugh Bridge. So you're stuck behind someone, but it just seems to get a bit bumpier and bumpier every year. When last year I came in, first night of practice, I had blood all around my mouth. So I was biting my cheeks. I was slamming my head on the airbox, just biting my cheeks. But yeah, Sulby Bridge is an ace place to just nip up the inside of someone. There's always photographers there. You just style it out a little bit, don't you?
Just do it for the camera.
Yeah. And then he got round Ginger Hall there, and then that's when you're like, yes, this is it. So you see some crazy stuff. Going up the mountain mile once, we were right behind a guy, and he just drifted off and just clipped the bank on the left-hand side.
I've seen that a few times.
He was looking down at his clocks, but because he was so focused on his clocks, he wasn't looking where he was going in the bank. Yeah, there's lots of stuff like that. Luckily we're not involved in any of that. What about you? What's your favourite bit?
To be honest, I mean, it's probably slightly different as a passenger for me, because there's large sections of the course where, as a passenger, I shouldn't admit to this, but you don't do an awful lot.
And there you go, there's passenger in.
You get a chance to have a rest, and to be honest, I mean, those bits are pretty boring. So I think as a passenger, you probably earn your money from like Ballacrane through to Ramsey.
Do you not work at Griever?
Don't need to, we don't go fast enough.
So that's probably my favourite. That is a big old stretch, but I find like the first sort of 5 or 6 miles is pretty boring, and over the mountains pretty boring. But
don't bring it up too much, mate. It's the greatest road race in the world.
But I mean, as a passenger, it goes back to what I was saying before. Like, you do need those sections to have a bit of a breather, because if it was full on every single corner for 37 3/4 miles, you wouldn't last an hour's race. And you do need those sections where you get a breather. But as a passenger, I don't find them that exciting.
So what do you like? That was the question.
all the twisty bits where the passengers work.
Right.
Yeah.
Give me the fingers.